In this episode, I'm going to share with you the 5-step process that I personally use to manifest money every single time. Let's get into the video. Hey beautiful people, I'm Elise McDowell and I am the founder of House of Brazen. I am a money mindset and business mentor, and I'm super obsessed with helping women transform their relationships with money so that they can manifest more into their lives. And I do it through the principles of law of attraction and the other universal principles as well. And today we're going to be talking about exactly how you manifest money into your life time and time and time and time again. I'm not talking about just doing it once off. This is the 5-step formula that you can use anytime that you need to manifest money so that you can start to develop the skills that you need to be able to bring it into your life with ease, which is what we want, right? We don't want it to be a struggle to have money. Okay, so the first thing that you're going to need to do is declutter everything. And this is both physically and emotionally. But I always like to start with the physical because it always feels good to like get rid of crap. So when it comes to money specifically, and we're decluttering for money, that would look like going into your wallet and cleaning out any like cards that are expired or receipts that are like stuffed in there. I know I'm super guilty of like stuffing them into my wallet. So it'd be clearing all that out and like having your wallet like essentially like a sacred space for holding your money or your cards or however you like to exchange things for things, right? The next thing I would recommend you to do is declutter your expenses. So for me, because I run a business, I have a lot of expenses for my business, but earlier this year when I was starting to work on manifesting one of my highest income months I've ever had, which I did manifest, I went through all of my expenses and I actually asked myself if I needed them, if they were necessary, or if I was just kind of using them or not using them, but they weren't really doing what I wanted them to. And I wound up cutting about $100 off my expenses, like decluttering $100 off my expenses and into my account, which is perfect. So I'd recommend doing that for decluttering. You can also do things that aren't necessarily related to decluttering for money, but they are about decluttering your space energetically. So that would be going through your belongings. So obviously starting with your wardrobe, you can use the KonMari method and go through each item and ask yourself if it brings you joy. That's a really fun one to do. You can also just go around and like just get rid of any unnecessary things that you don't like, that don't bring you joy, that don't feel like the level that you want to be at anymore. You know, it's not like that quality level or that high value level. Regardless of what the thing costs, it's how it makes you feel. So if it doesn't make you feel that like next level that you want to go to, get rid of it or donate it or give it away or something. The second part to decluttering would be emotionally. And the way that you do this is through an exercise called forgiveness. Now, a lot of people say that it comes from the Hawaiian tradition or ritual of, I think it's called ho'oponopono. And basically you forgive to release, to let go, so that you can clear space energetically to welcome new things to you. And so what I recommend to do is that you write a list of everything that has pissed you off in the past, or you can't forgive, or you just feel really still like triggered about, or it feels funky. So I would, because we're talking about money, I would start with like all the money crap like that's come up over the years. Maybe a friend borrowed money off you and then never paid you back even though they said they were going to. Or maybe you got yourself into a lot of debt and you feel like shame about it. Or maybe your parents like used to tell you that they couldn't afford anything, or that they didn't want to pay for something for you, or they didn't have enough. Whatever it is, like write down every single money thing that you can think of that triggers you today. And then you're going to go through each of those lines and you're going to say, I forgive you, I love you, I'm sorry, and thank you. And you don't need to spend like much time on each line. You don't even need to get into the emotion of it. It's just about releasing, going through each line and releasing each thing. And you'll find, like, if you come back to the list a few days later, there are some things that you're not even going to remember that just don't trigger you anymore. There might be a couple that do, and that means you just need to go back and clear them again. But over time, as you do this, you're going to release a lot of stuff, a lot of baggage, a lot of crap off you, and it's going to be good for you to manifest money in the long run. You can do this also for other things in your life, you know, like other times that you were triggered by something. It doesn't have to relate to money, because it's a great exercise to do for just having a better life in general. It doesn't just have to be for money. So if you can learn anything, it would be to take this exercise and use it regularly, on a regular basis, whenever there's something that you're feeling triggered by. The second thing that you need to do, the second step of the process, is to define how you want to feel when you have money. Now, and the next step will actually define how much money you want, but right now I want you first to get into the feeling place of how you believe you're going to feel when you have the money. Because if you know anything about law of attraction, you know it's all about the feeling, it's all about the vibration, it's all about how you're leveling yourself up vibrationally to manifest the things you want to you and to have a better quality life as well. So define it by choosing a word of how you want to feel when you have the money that you want. So for an example, last year, my word was fun. I just wanted to have fun. I feel like I'd been deprived of it for such a long time. So last year I decided, no, I'm gonna go all out. I'm gonna just do what I want. So if you know me, or if you're just getting introduced to me, acquainted with me now, I run a business called House of Brazen. I've run that for the last 3 years. And so I'm already an established business owner. So I've been traveling the world for like the last 2.5 years, just living my best life. And so last year I was like, no, I'm gonna like do this properly. So I just like booked my trip to the US. I went and lived in the US for 3 months. I met the most amazing people, went and explored. It was amazing. Then I went to Mexico and I lived there for like 2 months. I met up with some friends there, and then we traveled together. We went to Cuba, and then I went to Europe for a couple of weeks, and then I came back to Mexico and I lived there for like 2 more months, and then I went to Bali for 2 months, and I had the time of my life. I had fun, and that's the word that I had chosen at the beginning of the year, but more importantly, that's the feeling that I wanted, and I achieved it. Like, I made it happen. It manifested because I knew exactly how I wanted to feel. So I had this point that I always could focus on, which was fun. So, of course, I achieved that throughout that entire year. And so for this year, my word, the feeling that I have, it's empire, it's power. So I want to be taking my business to the next level, and I am already. I've had like my highest earning month this year already, so it's already manifested because I know exactly how I want to feel, and I anchor that in myself every single day so that I know exactly where I'm going, right? And the reason I want you to choose how you want to feel first is because it's going to be so much easier to define what you want and focus on it. And now the third thing that you need to do is get clear about what you want. Define it. So this is where we take the feeling and then we actually put it into paper. We actually define what we want. So when it comes to money, what do you want? Like, do you want money to be coming in through your business? Do you want to just have a lump sum come to you magically somehow? Because both ways are possible. It's just up to you. Like, you can think about this in practical terms, or you can think about this in universal terms. For me personally, I like to manifest money through my business because that feels more stable to me and I can kind of predict it better. That's just me. That's where my vibration is at, and that's how I like it to be. I'm not particularly awesome at manifesting money just randomly. I've been getting really good at like manifesting a lot of free things lately, but for me, because I run a business, I prefer my money to be manifested through my business. So you need to decide if you want it to come magically, or through your business, or however else you want, and then you need to decide what you actually want. So is it $5,000 months through your business, or is it a lump sum through some other magical way? Define it. Decide what you want, why you want it, when you want it. You don't need to decide how you want it, but we usually decide ourselves how it comes to us. So loosely touch on that, but don't get into too much of the how, because as you know, if we go into the how, then we start like putting the universe in a chokehold and saying like, this is how it has to come. It doesn't have to. Like, it doesn't have to come through my business. I just prefer it to be that way because it's stable for me. So pick your financial goal and whatever it is you want. Like if you want to be traveling as well, if you want to have money for buying a house, if you want extra income to come in, like as well as the income from your job, define exactly how you want it. The best thing to do is to actually write down all the things that you want. So is it travel? Is it a car? Is it a new living room set? Whatever it is, write it down, write the financial value down, and then total that as how much money you want to manifest. Maybe it is just monthly income, or maybe it's just one particular thing, or maybe it's just a lump sum of money. Whatever it is, write that down. You're clear about what you want, but above all, you're clear about the energy of how you want to feel when you have this thing. Step number 4 is to create a manifestation toolbox. So what the hell is a manifestation toolbox? It is essentially just the different law of attraction exercises that you can do to help manifest your goal. Now, by default, we have different exercises that work better for us. For me, scripting and visualizing and gratitude are like my top 3. I don't really need to do anything else but those 3, and I will manifest them easily, without really trying. Like they're my go-tos. But some people might prefer to just do forgiveness or emotional freedom technique, or different exercises like meditation or reading books or watching videos, or anything that helps them get into the vibration of what they want. And what you're going to do is you're going to create your own toolbox of what tools work for you. So maybe it is visualization. Maybe you do really well with visualization. Or maybe it's scripting, or maybe it's journaling, or maybe it's meditation, or maybe it's reading books. Whatever it is, put those in your toolbox and decide what things you're going to use to help you manifest this financial goal. Which then brings us to our next step and final step. That is scheduling time for manifesting what you want every single day. Yep. The reason we schedule it for every day is because we are teaching ourselves to get into that new frame of mind where we are powerful manifesting machines. But the only way to do that, the only way to become like an expert at manifesting, the only way to consistently manifest what you want is you gotta become a master at it, is that you gotta make it a habit. And the only way to make it a habit is to do it all the time. So that's why we schedule in our manifesting time every single day. It's just like scheduling in going to the gym, or going for a workout, or meeting up with friends, or doing a crochet night, whatever it is. We're treating manifestation as important as going to the gym, as taking care of your health, as visiting your family or your grandparents or whatever. It's that important. If you want to change your life, if you want to manifest what you want, if you want to finally have the money that you've always dreamed of, you gotta prioritize this. And what you schedule are the tools that you chose in the last step. So if you chose visualization and scripting, you're going to take time every single day to do those things. You're going to get yourself into the feeling place of the word that you picked in step 3. And you're going to use those exercises to put you into the energy of that. Because what that does is that puts you into the vibration of you already having what you want. You already having the money that you want. And that's all we want, because the more that you put yourself into the energy of having what you want, the faster you close the gap between you and what you want, the faster it manifests, because you're constantly living in the energy of having it. So you're going to schedule it in at some point every single day. Maybe it's when you wake up, maybe it's when you get home, maybe it's on your lunch break, maybe it's just before you go to sleep. But you're gonna schedule it to do your manifesting work every single day because it's so important, and that's how you're gonna change your life. That's how you're gonna change your bank account. That's how you're gonna change your health. If you want something, you have to change your habits to achieve it. But luckily, this is fun stuff. It's not like going for practicing for a marathon every single day. It's fun. It's fun. Visualizing is fun. Thinking about what you want and having it is fun. So prioritize this, please. So let's recap. The first thing you're gonna do is you're gonna declutter emotionally and physically. Do the physical first because it's fun and clears the air and the energy first. It shakes it up. The second thing you're gonna do is choose how you want to feel. Pick a word to help you really anchor in that feeling, but most of all, feel it. Feel how you want to feel so that you can start closing that gap between you and what you want. Third thing, get clear about what you want. What do you actually want? Is it a lump sum or is it monthly income? Is it money for your living room or your house, or is it money for a trip? Whatever it is, write it down, get clear about what you want. Use that as your guide, but use the word and the feeling place to bring that to you. Number 4, create your toolbox, your manifestation toolbox. So even if it's one thing, if it's gratitude and that's what works for you, that's enough, okay? That's more than enough. But if you like to do a mix of things like scripting, meditation, visualization, reading books, listening to podcasts, watching law of attraction videos like this, then do that. Add that in. Schedule it in every single day. Pick from your toolbox and schedule in your manifesting practice every single day, just like going to the gym. So that is my 5-step manifesting process for everything. Not just money, but for everything. But it's so simple, and once you get used to it, it becomes like clockwork. Like once you schedule it in and you build that habit of like consistently practicing your manifestation practice every single day, you don't even think about it. Like you're already living in the reality of what you want. So it's not even a surprise when you manifest it. Like it's not even a surprise when you get the highest income month that you had been living in for a month prior. It's really not a surprise. It's like, oh yeah, I expected that. Next goal, okay? So that is all from me today. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, I would love it if you could give me a thumbs up and subscribe to this channel, because I'm going to be bringing you even more helpful, juicy law of attraction videos on manifesting what you want, your dream life, so that you can just have that life that you've always wanted, right? I'm going to be bringing you more videos like that, so please subscribe, and I will catch you in the next episode.